Welcome to Bachelor Party. I'm Juliet Litman. I'm here, of course, with Callie Curry. Hi, Callie.
Hello.
How are you?
I am tired, but I'm good. There was, Super Bowl, lots happening.
Seriously, it's a busy time in pop culture. We're here to discuss The Bachelor, and Callie is now caught up on Love Island, so we are also going to discuss that. Can't wait to talk about Lana, Zara. Those are the only names I can say in a British accent because they're so funny.
Yeah, Olivia is hard.
I don't even know. Whatever, she sucks. Anyway, we'll come back to that at the end. Let's get into The Bachelor. Main event this week, Kylee versus Anastasia. Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Before we do that, I'd like to begin by saying some nice things about Zach. Do you have anything nice to say about him?
This is speaking to the entire episode, but two nice things I could say about Zach. First nice thing is he does not fuck around.
No.
If you cause any drama, you are out the door.
You are
quick,
gone.
fast, and in a hurry. He has no time for bullshit, and I appreciate that.
I agree. I will say I'm a little bit nervous about his aversion to conflict. Conflict is part of life. And he seems to think that his parents never had any conflict. Like, he comes back to this over and over again, like his parents' perfect marriage and like they're best friends and he's looking for the same thing. And it's like, you know what? It sounds like they were really good parents if that's the impression they gave you. And like, you feel like there was no conflict in your household. But I'm sure that's not the case about their relationship. And so I'm just worried that he is not ready to withstand trouble. I mean, no relationship is perfect.
Well, this week's episode, he said, he was like, my parents fought, but they, worked through it and they fought for each other. And I was like, I like how you put that. Like, to your point, if your parents are never fighting, I don't think they care very much.
Yeah.
I'm not, obviously no one wants a household that's fighting 24/7, but if you've never heard your parents fighting, then, there has to be a lack of passion in the relationship.
Yeah. Or like, it's not realistic. It's fine.
Yeah. And again, it's not like fight every week or fight every night or whatever. But like, if your parents are married 30 years and you don't hear them fight, that's alarming.
Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, I do think it's nice if like you think of them that way, but it's not realistic. Anyway, I'm a little worried about that.
Is it nice? It's fake.
Yeah, it's fake. But I guess it's either it's fake or the good times overpower the bad times. That like that's all he remembers or something. I don't know. But I have to say
if that's the case, that's totally fine. That's actually wonderful if that's the case.
Yeah, it's really sweet. It's really, really sweet. I just, classic Bachelor. He was like slipping into football talk. Like when he was like last night after the Super Bowl, when they were asking like Patrick Mahomes, like what changed at halftime, he was like, we weren't playing for each other the way we wanted to. So we came back, we showed up for each other. It's like Zach was also talking about his parents that way. But, when that's what that's what it's fine.
Wait, did he play football?
Yeah. We looked this up on the podcast together. He played at like Cal Poly or something like that. He was a D1 player.
Are you sure that was with me?
I'm pretty
Definitely
sure.
Don't remember that.
That's okay. Whatever. I'm trying to think of my nice thing to say about Zach. He was having fun. I think he was.
Oh, wait, I have one more nice thing.
Okay.
The other nice thing, which when it happened, I thought of you. When he was dancing on the boat with Kat, someone who I'd never heard of before. And I don't know if I just thought she was also Katie and Bailey.
They're similar.
It's really crazy. I was like, Kat, have we talked about Kat? I mean, I'm sure we have. And I think I just like put her and Katie as the same person because they also look a lot alike. But when they were dancing on the boat, I was like, oh, here's his goofy side. Letting it down. I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah, that was a cute moment. He seemed really comfortable with her. He does seem kind of self-aware, which I also like. I feel like that's my nice thing is that he seems in those moments self-aware. Like he knows he's self-awareness is very important to me. And he in the goofiness and like when he's like able to relax and like actually have a good time, he seems a lot more fun. So I don't know. He's loosening it up. We're all just loosening it up. I'm getting used to Zach. He's getting used to being on TV.
I do think I like him more than I thought.
I do too. He seems like a good person.
Is he boring? Yeah, I think he's boring, but like that just means he's normal. Like we only want to see the people that are going to like give us, entertainment. And that's like part of the problem. Like, I'm not sure why he was cast for this, but as much as he's not my type, I can see why why a woman would want to be with him.
I get the impression.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I get the impression he also makes them feel special. It seems like he really like locks in, which is a nice feeling. So he's like very focused on the task at hand, which is like dating these women. Here's another thing I'll say at this point. I would now rather go on a date with him than Colton or Clayton. So that seems like improvement. Like before, I think I would have picked Colton, even though he wouldn't be interested in me for like the craziness. But at this point, I now feel like Zach is my top choice among those three who are like, to me, felt almost indistinguishable before. But he's definitely above Clayton. There's no question about that.
Yeah. I would choose him above Clayton as well. And Colton, for that matter. Yeah, like he's just, I really don't have anything like bad to say about him other than like, you're not causing chaos. So it's a little boring. Like that's the bad thing I have to say about him.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was going to say that I was not planning to say as a compliment, but I guess, we're far down this road of compliments now. I do think he actually like listens to what they're saying. You know how like usually when they're on these one-on-one dates and like they say something and it's like, I feel like I've gotten very used to like a generic answer of like, you're seen or I see you, or it's just like something they say to every single person. I feel like Clayton like actually like repeats back to them like a little bit of what they're saying. So like he is actually listening. Sorry, Zach. Fuck. Now I've got Clayton and Colton in my head. I think Zach actually like is listening and like processing and responding instead of just like saying what he thinks he should say. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that's part of getting rid of the women that bring the drama is like it's like it doesn't compute. So he's just like, I'm out. You gotta go.
Yeah.
So it seems like he'd rather be a caretaker.
5 minutes talking about good things about Zach.
Well, that's great. I think we can move on then. Zach, you're seen. I want to talk about Kylee and Anastasia. Obviously dominated the episode. So thank you to our producer, Ashleigh, who transcribed the very short and very uncontroversial thing that Kylee said. Kylee, first of all, before we even get there, we just need to talk about Kylie's bathing suit. The bathing suit fashion this season has really skewed towards revealing one piece, which I support. I like a revealing one piece, a monokini. I think that like also like Kat on her one-on-one, I liked her very like regular bathing suit as well. Kylie was wearing something so elaborate. It was straight out of Love Island. It had like a gold chain, like halter, and then like a lot of like strings. And she looked great, but I was just like, how do you even like put that on? I mean, I don't know. It was very notable to me.
I don't think I made a mental note of it, but you notice swimsuits a lot.
Yeah, I do. I think it's because I don't feel comfortable in them. So I'm always like taking note of what other people are wearing.
That would make sense. Because like I remember, was it last season? I think it was last season, last Bachelor season, where they wore the, no, it was Bachelor in Paradise, where they wore the upside down bathing suit and you noticed it. And I was like, I didn't even notice it.
Well, the other thing is I have really big boobs and I always have. And it's very hard to find bathing suits that like truly fit and are comfortable without looking like a porn star.
Does Kylie have big boobs?
No.
Okay.
They're fine.
I was thinking that would make me look at people with big boobs and see like if there's a bathing suit, if someone's wearing a bathing suit that has big boobs, I'd be like, oh, that could look good on me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that's one of the reasons why I noticed so much. Because also most of the time I'm like, oh, I can never wear that. Absolutely not. Uncomfortable. Side note, Rachel Recchia, I think that's how you say her name, announced that she's getting a breast reduction in a couple of days, which makes a lot of sense with how they dressed her on The Bachelorette. And I just want to say, Rachel, I wish you the best. And I really support surgeries that make you feel more comfortable with your body. So best of luck. Hope it goes well. That's it. Back to
Great. I saw the TikTok.
Back to Kylie. So she's wearing this really elaborate bathing suit. And I think also because the way she was standing when she interrupts Zach and Anastasia, she's like standing like she's in a pageant. Like it was like, or like a bodybuilding competition. I don't know if you noticed this, but she was like had one leg like on toe, like she was like in a bar class or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think she's doing that to like very aware of the cameras. Like I doubt she usually stands that way, but it like made me so uncomfortable.
Oh, that's not what I thought. I thought she was clearly so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like she was playing with her hair. Even before she walked up, she kept like pacing back and forth before she walked up. Like she felt so awkward and uncomfortable coming up there that even later when she was explaining the situation to Zach and she was saying like, I was honestly like so scared and I was like, I actually believe what she's saying. I do think the whole situation made her so like out of her element. I think in normal life, she's like, I would never do this.
I really
and she's
like her.
Pushing herself to do it because obviously she wants time with Zach. I really like her too. I also did not like Anastasia, so I'm really happy that she's gone.
Yeah, but I agree with you. She was so uncomfortable. She doesn't seem capable of like being devious. Like so basically Anastasia will not give up, will not give her Zach. And she says to her, I don't want to fight. That's all she says. That's like the most generic, like literally there's nothing there. And she says, I don't want to fight. She's uncomfortable. And then Anastasia goes and talks to Greer and says that Kylee wanted to fight her. And that's like just so absurd. I was relieved that basically all the women immediately were like, that just doesn't seem like what happened. Like that just can't be. That's not normal. But like, it was just so fucked up. And I gotta say, once again, the conflict is happening between a white woman and a woman of color. And it's just like, it's just like, what is wrong with this show? I don't know.
I mean, I can't remember who said it. Ugh, I wish I could remember.
I think it was Gabby. I think it was Gabby. I know what you're going to say.
That she was like, Kylee has given us zero indication that she would ever physically fight anyone. So the fact that she thought that what Kylee said was threatening is insane. And I was like, first of all, she told Greer, but then she went on and told everybody. And I loved like the montage of each woman coming on and being like, it was really annoying. No one thinks that Kylie's going to fight her. I'm not sure like why she said that. And then when they're sitting around and Anastasia was like, I don't want you to think that like I was saying something that wasn't true, blah, blah, blah. I clearly like misunderstood what you were saying. I want to be like, you just went around and told everyone that she tried to physically, like that she was threatening to physically fight you, that it made you uncomfortable, that it made you feel unsafe or whatever word she used. And then when everyone's like, nah, it doesn't make sense. She was like, well, okay, I don't want you to think I misunderstood you. No, you literally made it up. And even Zach, when Kylee told him, was like, what?
I know.
Like, clearly we all knew what you were saying.
It was insane. It was just so insane. I think also Ariel was the one who was like, there's no indication that would happen. She was like asking Anastasia a lot of follow-ups, like a lawyer. I kind of liked it. I find Ariel annoying, but I also think
Ariel
that she's
is clearly, I don't know if I want to say this, but this is how I feel. I think she might be a little smarter than the rest of the group.
Definitely. I was just about to say she's definitely smarter. The way she talks is also just so different.
Yeah, she like breaks down everything for them. When Gabby was like, whatever Zach said, he's going to follow his heart. So whatever he wants to do, this is at the end. And Ariel was like, well, clearly he hits things straight on and, deals with conflict well and wants to get to the bottom of it. And everyone's just like, yeah. I'm like, okay, she's like the mother voice of reason who they all respect. She's also, I think she seems like, and she's not my favorite either, but she seems like pretty good person, Ariel.
Yeah, absolutely. She also was like, Zach told me that his biggest fear is someone being here for the wrong reasons. Therefore, hearing that Anastasia is mentioning followers is a big problem for him. Like she's very like logical and just like drawing connections. I don't want to give her too much credit. This is really more of an indication of the mental abilities of a lot of the other women. but yes, she does stand out as having a clear head on her shoulders in this situation. She also just seems really confident, which comes across.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was an early defender of Kylie. I just thought the only criticism I think you can make of Kylie,
there wasn't anyone that didn't defend Kylie.
Yeah, and she didn't do anything. She didn't do anything wrong, like at all. But then, like, I guess I was not completely expecting her to like flip it into like sort of telling Zach about Anastasia's comments about influencing.
By the way, I don't think that Kylie had planned to do that. And then she was just like, you know what? She's going to tell Zach A, B, and C. So like, I might as well tell him what I know.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I think happened. But
she was giving Zach the full picture.
Yeah, unless we didn't see it. Anastasia didn't even say anything to Zach. So she clearly realized she was in the wrong in the situation. It was just like, yeah, I'm not going to bring this up. I may have blown this out of proportion. She never said that she didn't say it. She kept saying it was taken out of context.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? Put it in, please put it in context. In what context do you need to tell everyone that if they've been here for this long, they're going to have 50K followers? Which, by the way, I went to Bachelor data last night, and I believe there's only one person that has more than 50,000 followers, and they came on the show with more than 50,000 followers. And you know who it's not? Anastasia.
I liked how she was like, yeah, I just mentioned like brands that they could work with, and like some brand, and like I can connect them with the brands that I work with. It's just like, girl, are you really working with a lot of brands? Also, hasn't this game changed? Haven't you all moved on to like TikTok and like, I don't know. It's not the same. So if this is what you came for, to quote to the great Rihanna, I think that you're going to be upset.
I was just confused. I'm like, why are the girls asking you for social media advice? You have 23,000 followers.
I know.
And that's after being on the show. So before the show, maybe you had 20? I don't know. It just doesn't make very much sense to me. Also, like, to your point, how many brands are you working with? What contacts do you have? And she's like, I'm very proud of my career. And I was like, is this your full-time career? It cannot be your full-time career with 20,000 followers, right?
I know. No way. I mean, that's just not that, especially like with the way that the algorithm works now, like anything that's like clearly SponCon just gets pushed down. So I don't know. Good luck, Anastasia. She's gone. I was glad that he got rid of her. He waited kind of a long time to do it though, but whatever.
By the way, I think the only reason he got rid of her, and he said to Kylie, he's like, I have no reason not to believe you, but like, you know, I just need to like make sure this is true. Then he's like, Charity, tell me if this is true. And Charity's like, yep, it's true. And he's like, all right, she's going home.
You know that Charity is going to be in paradise, and she is going to be like the main narrator. She is going to be telling us what's what. I see it already. I look forward to it. I didn't like Charity at first, but she's definitely grown on me. And I know that she's not winning this television program, but I very much look forward to her.
This television program.
I very much look forward to her this summer telling us what's going down on the beach.
I do think she's going to make it far.
Yeah, because he likes talking to her, because it's like easy. And I think he like enjoys her.
Yeah. I think that she makes him feel like safe or something. Like whenever anything's going wrong, he's like, Charity, can I pull you for a second? Like he just wants to like talk to her. Like he said, I think he said last night that she's calming. And I'm like, I don't know if that's exactly like the adjective I would want for someone when we're first dating.
Yeah.
I think maybe in marriage, that's a good thing, you know? But first dating, I'm not sure if that's like the first adjective I'd want. It's like safe and calming, especially for a guy like Zach who isn't like erratic. I guess, you know, if he was someone who was, I would understand like, oh, this feels so good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But 99% of the time, Zach probably feels pretty safe. He's never even seen anyone fight before. So...
He has no conflict in his life, so he doesn't need safety. It's like calm waters for him all the time.
But I do think that that's like, I feel like he uses Charity kind of as like a security blanket.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that also someone being calming, if you're taking the route of like, let's hang out for a while and maybe it'll turn into something like a friend that then could become something more, like, sure. But they don't have a lot of time. Like, you don't have time to build on the calming nature. Yeah. So you need a lot more. I have to say, like, side note, first of all, I say I have to say a lot. I don't have to say anything. But Now that I'm watching Love Island, which we'll come back to, how do you just like compare everything that happens on The Bachelor to Love Island? And you're just like, this is what would happen in the villa?
No, I don't do that. If I did that, I would be miserable because I personally love Love Island so much. And I mean, we talked about it last week. Like, you get to know the people more on Love Island. Like, they just show so much more. And you want that from The Bachelor. So I think that comparing it would be not a great experience for me.
It's a bad experience for me so far. I don't recommend it. But I have to add, I have to say, I feel like in Love Island, if you're calming, that's actually good because it's like you can build on that because you have enough time.
Yeah. And you spend so much time together. In The Bachelor, you spend like
a second.
I remember someone telling me that someone who made it to like final 5 or 6, so pretty far, said that like if they added up all the time they spent, it was probably like 2.5 hours.
It's nuts. I mean,
yeah, and you get engaged. I mean, obviously they spend more once you get to the final 4 and you have an overnight and all that, but still, it's what is it, 72 hours?
Yeah. Also, sometimes it's awkward the first time you're alone, and like the first time you have sex. Like, you need more than once.
I would be shocked if it was not awkward the first time you had sex with Zach.
Yeah. Oh my God. Zach particularly. Yes. Agreed. Zach, who's not eager to push the cots together.
Yeah. There's other people that like, I don't know, maybe they've been around the block. They're just super comfortable. They make you feel comfortable. That's not Zach.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like going into overnights with like Tyler Cameron, I'd feel pretty good.
Yes, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I would feel great.
Well,
you set me up.
I think most people would feel great. But I watched an interview with him this weekend.
Really?
And I remember thinking, I can kind of see what Juliet's getting at.
He's a great guy. I just want to add that. Not only is he very handsome, but he's a great person.
He seemed like a really good guy. He was talking about how he went on dates with like someone from college recently. And like he went on a date with someone from high school a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like actually not a star fucker. I just think he likes really hot women and he was around a lot of them, including like Gigi Hadid and Kristen Cavallari and Camilla, what's her face?
I think whoever's available.
Yeah. I don't know. He just wants a nice Florida life. So he just wants someone who wants to hang with him. Unfortunately, that will never be me. Let's move on.
You never know.
Let's talk about Kat/Catherine's date. I mean, it's just unfair. They had a great date. Zach had a great time. But yeah, they went on a boat.
Date.
Yeah, it's the best date possible. For any humans. It's a great date.
Also, like, weather was nice. Water was clear. Ideal date. By the way, I recently just went to Bahamas like 2 weeks ago. Maybe not even. So I was like trying to like pick out all the things that I noticed that were like, I remember that, whatever. Great place for the women. They must have been really happy there.
I believe they also went there on Housewives, if I recall correctly. I think Beverly Hills went there a few seasons
Miami.
ago. Or Potomac.
Maybe.
They've gone there for sure.
I don't know. Miami, literally, like last episode was there.
It seems great. I've never really been to like I've never been to the Bahamas. I'd love to go, especially since I'm a Klay Thompson fan. But I've never been to like a giant resort like that. Like, does it feel overwhelming?
Well, it's huge, but there's 3 resorts. That's why it feels really big.
Oh, I see.
There's a Rosewood, a Hyatt, and an SLS. And they all have standalone buildings, but they're all connected through like hallways.
Can you use the pool? Like, do they share pools, or can you go to any of them?
You can't use Rosewood.
Got it.
You can use, unless you're staying at Rosewood, you can't go to Rosewood. But you can go to, if you're staying at Hyatt or SLS, you can go to both. And then there's a water park attached to this resort as well.
That's ideal, because I love a water park, but like I'm not going to a water park. I don't want to like be walking around just at, whatever. But I do like a slide, and I do like a river and a wave pool. So that sounds pretty great. Maybe I should go to Bahamas.
Yeah, it's also nice that like there's like 3 levels of hotels. So like you can stay wherever you want. And it's like super family friendly, but then like the Rosewood obviously has like an adult only side. So there's something for everybody.
Okay. Well, that sounds lovely. Maybe I'll go one day.
You would think though, for being there, that everyone would be in a great mood.
They're just crazy. I mean, they're just like absolutely losing their minds already. So I don't know. But they probably don't get to use all the facilities. Like they probably have to like stay in their suite and talk about Zach. They're not allowed to do anything, but they're not on a date.
I really hope that they shouldn't even have to do that because they don't record it.
It's not even interesting. Like, what's there to talk about, Zach? I mean, we can barely talk about Zach. We have to. We're getting paid to do so.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like obviously Love Island. They like force them to sit there and talk all day.
But they get to talk about other stuff.
I mean, they can talk about whatever they want. But I'm saying like, for Bachelor, I'm like, why would they make them do that if we don't get to see any of that?
I know. So they need to update.
Unless,
how
like, obviously, it might drive them crazy a little and make them do crazy things.
But not that crazy because we're not seeing it. If it's really good, they show it. You know.
Yeah. Anyways, back to Kat.
Kat, we can barely keep our. I think in my note, I also like I wrote Katie instead of Kat by accident. I was like, Katie's one-on-one. They really are like exactly the same, but. They keep like doing this SPF joke with her and the sunscreen, which like fine. I guess when you don't have a lot of time together, like you need to hold on. It's like sort of like when you see a dating profile and like you don't know anything about each other and you have like one line to base your relationship off of. You're like, okay, we gotta just hold on to the sunscreen joke until we actually know each other. So that's what they were doing.
My friends, when they're dating people and they like tell me a story about them or something funny, like unless it gets way more serious, that guy's known as like the Cheeto guy,
or like sunscreen guy. Yeah.
So that's what Kat would be.
I'm a big like full name person, but not like your actual name, like Zach the vanilla ice cream, or like Zach the piece of toast, or something like that. Like
yeah.
You know, like when talking
so it's Kat,
to her,
the SBFer.
Yeah, exactly. Sunscreen Kat. Anyway. She revealed that she's a bad relationship with her mom. Sad for Kat, but fine for dating. So don't worry about it, Kat. And Zach didn't seem to mind. And then they're dancing with this one guy playing for them. I think they did not name him. I was like, well, who is this person? And I don't think they said.
No, they never said it. They didn't say it.
That's fucked up.
The music just started playing. Oh, I don't know if it's just like a hotel person. You know what I mean?
Nevertheless, it was weird.
Yeah, I don't.
It's disrespectful and rude.
I wrote down in my notes after the boat, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a good date. Like, finally a date where there's no trauma. Like, we never get to see this. And then we got to dinner and I just had to like cross it out.
It's fine though. It's not even
trauma was brought up. I just thought we were going to get a date of just like them getting to know each other and having fun and da-da-da-da. But no, we did not. I was thinking to myself, like, how the hell do they find, I guess everyone, I don't know. They find a lot of women with trauma. Well,
for example, from knowing you, like, I just think that you don't like victimize yourself. So you don't see everything as like trauma. Like you're like I feel like you don't, I don't know. Like, I just feel like you don't allow yourself to be like, I am traumatized by X, Y, or Z or whatever. And so like, I think they find people to go on the show who like do feel like victims in some way.
That might be true. I also think tonight's episode specifically, both of the things that happened are pretty traumatizing.
Terrible. I mean, Brooklyn is different. And like, seriously, I wasn't trying to like minimize Kat's bad relationship with her mom, but like that's
no. You're saying like in general.
Yeah, like that is really
like
sad.
The people that come on this show.
Yeah. Like, and because part of it also is like when they're screening you, they're like, tell me about yourself. And they're like, tell me about your family.
Yeah.
And so then they can tell like the way that you tell your own narrative. You're like, oh, this is Kat. She's got a heart of gold and a bad relationship with her mom. And like, this is Brooklyn, who has, found a way to like rise above what happened to her. And I like Brooklyn's story is horrific. I mean, physical abuse. Just so sad. I'm like really glad she got out of the relationship and seems to be doing better. But yeah, it's terrible.
Not only physical abuse, but she also like witnessed physical abuse.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Brooklyn's story to me, I was just like, Jesus Christ. Like,
yeah. I thought Zach handled it well, like making her feel comfortable and
really well. I think he handled it really well. And he also like spoke to like her strength and was like, this shouldn't happen to anybody. Like, also you could tell when she was telling the story that Zach was like, what the fuck? Like, I think that for Zach is like, how could anyone do that to someone?
Yeah.
It's probably like so outside of his like even like box of thinking. But yeah, no, both stories tonight, I was just like, how the hell do they find so many people that have like extensive trauma? I mean, like even Catherine was like moved out of her house. And like, I mean, there's just, obviously there's people that come on there and are just like, yeah, my last boyfriend like didn't treat me well. And like, that's their trauma.
Yeah.
We talked about that last week. That is to me like what you're speaking of. I guess like in these interviews when they're like trying to cast, when they're trying to cast people, if someone were to bring that up or speak about it, like how horrible it was to them, these casting directors are like, bingo, we got who we wanted. We want someone who's going to talk about this and talk about like whatever. But then like tonight, I was just like, double whammy tonight. Like you gave us two really bad like experiences.
Also with Brooklyn, she's so young. Like my heart breaks for her that she, I mean, at no age is it okay or is it not heartbreaking to experience in a kind of abusive relationship? But like she said they dated for 7 years and I think she's 26. And so like so many of like her formative years were spent with someone who was incredibly harmful to her. It's just so sad. It really is really impressive that she was able to get out of that. And she must have a lot of strength. And also then like when she very like I thought it was really interesting how she pointed out like, I gravitated towards someone like my father instead of in like the way that she was talking about it was pretty mature. So I have like a lot of hope that she'll be okay, but that's just like so horrible. I really wish her the best.
Well, I thought it was interesting how she, like, obviously she wanted to tell Zach about this because it's a huge part of her life. But she started talking about it after Zach was like, you just have this confidence. And I feel like that like broke her down because I just think it's crazy for her to have the amount of confidence that she does after that. Because it couldn't have been that long ago. And to Zach's point, like, and not that like you can't like pick someone out of a crowd that's like gone through abuse or anything like that. But the way that she has carried herself this season, like she does have a lot of confidence. She seems to really know who she is. Even with the like Brianna situation with like Christina and stuff, like she was standing up for herself and for Brianna, and like to have gone through that and now be where she's at seems like a lot of like work and like growth.
Yeah, absolutely.
So no, I thought that was interesting. But yeah, I didn't realize the age either. So that means like most of her life she was experiencing abuse in some form.
Yeah, which is just so terrible. I really hope she's okay. But yeah, it made me, I find her like impressive because for all the reasons you're saying, like she was able to like really, and just the way she expressed herself was really impressive too. So I wish her the best. I think Catherine Kat seems like the clear front runner.
I'm so happy you said that because I was watching their date, and I was just like, oh, she wins.
Yeah, like how does she? Her and Gabby's getting a weird amount of screen time for someone who's like barely on the show. Like she doesn't interact with Zach, but like she's on every episode. So I feel like Gabby and Catherine are final two. Like I think like Katie goes far, and just because of like their connection, she's the one with the museum date last week. She had the first time alone with him on the group date, but I don't know how Catherine doesn't win. Just feel like she's got it in the bag. And she's apparent, and like her look, it just seems like something he's into because they all kind of look like her.
Yeah. The ones that he has like the biggest attraction to look like her. Yeah. During their date, I was literally like, oh, this is over. She's won. You could tell by the way he was talking about her, how they were talking to each other. I think he loves that she was like goofy. He loves that word. She just seems like this is. And even when she was talking about like her past trauma or whatever, like it just like made him like her more. Like
Yeah.
All of it is trending that way. The only thing I will say is, I also thought in my head, is this like a Rachel trick? Do you remember how like sure we were that Rachel was going to win?
Yeah. Ugh, all the whispering when they were on the dock.
That's the only thing I can think of, because I was like, this seems so clear that she wins. And I felt the same way about Rachel. So I'm like, unless that's happening, which I don't know if Zach seems like, I mean, obviously Clayton was all over the place. Zach seems like much more predictable. Yeah, I haven't seen that connection with anyone else.
From what I've heard, it sounds like it's a fairly straightforward season. And I don't think he makes like a major blunder like Clayton. So
I think it's Kat. I think Kat wins. My final four, though,
I really think so too.
Would be Kat, Charity, Ariel, and I think Katie.
Is that who you want it to be or who you think it's going to be?
It's what I think. I think Gabby might get up there. Greer might get up there. Jess might get up there. But like Jess and Greer kind of like are invisible right now. Like I just don't really.
Yeah, I mean, Jess came back strong with the body glitter this week. So much of it. Oh my God.
I did notice it this week, but also it just made me think of like, I was just like, yeah, she is young.
How does that not get on him or everyone else and like the pillows and shit? Glitter gets everywhere.
It has to be. Obviously, it got all over her. I think the glitter was spilled.
Can't have attended that.
Glitter was spilled.
Oh my God. I think my final four is, I think Gabby. Just she's in it a weird amount. She doesn't add up. And also the way that Sean was like, someone at the very beginning, Sean Lowe was like, someone who you might not expect could go far. Like I didn't notice Catherine until like week X or whatever. So I think it's Gabby, Katie, Catherine, and maybe Charity because he likes spending time with her. But those are my top four for sure, or top three for sure: Katie, Catherine, and Gabby. So we'll see.
It does seem like a brunette makes it far, so it's either Ariel or Gabby.
Doesn't really rule anything out. I consider Catherine a brunette. She just got like a lighter color hair.
Oh, I meant like dark. Like in the previews, there's someone with dark hair that seems to be there for a long time. Also, previews for next week. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
I don't know.
Did you see the previews?
We'll find out. But yeah.
They're all crying.
Maybe someone goes home they're upset about. It's a Rodney situation.
Maybe. Next
week they're going to London. They've always wanted to go to London. And on that note, let's talk about Love Island with our favorite Brits. Okay, Callie, how many episodes?
Question. I'm up to date.
Okay. Did you watch last night? Did you watch the Sunday episode? Has Sammy arrived for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I always get confused because like they give us Sunday's episode Saturday at like 3 a.m. and then we have nothing till tonight at 3 a.m. Yes, I have watched Sammy. She might be my favorite so far. It's coming to the villa.
Everyone loves Sammy.
Yeah. My question for you though, do you regret not getting into this earlier?
Absolutely. I'm so addicted. I'm happy that I have seasons to go back to. Like, I think I'm not going to watch the season with Molly May or whatever. Cause like, I just know like the outcome, but, and I guess I know about Ekansu and Davide, but there's like that's 2 out of 8 that I've eliminated. I have 6 other seasons I could watch. I love it. Here's the thing. This is how you should have sold me on it. I think you're aware of this about me. I love friendship. I love watching friendships form. I love watching friends support each other. I love like watching genuine connection in like a way. Like I feel emotional talking about it right now, honestly. Or like when the way they support each other and the way they have fun together. And also like I like seeing the male-female friendships. Like you don't really get that a lot on TV. And I love it. Like I like how there's just so much of it. And so I'm actually like way more invested in like a lot of just like the house dynamics and the actual relationships. And like the peak of this season so far was Ron having a broken brain and Shaq being like, wait. What the fuck are you talking about? Like that was so entertaining and satisfying. And I loved it.
Even on last night's episode, Shaq was like, I'm worried about you. And Ron was like, don't worry about me. And he was like, no, I am. I'm worried about you. Because he was like, who was he talking to? He was talking to Kai and was like, just make sure you really think about what you do before you do it. Trust me. And Shaq is like,
yeah.
Are you going to think about it? Because if you don't, she's done. She is done. Like, I love Shaq. I love Shaq. I knew I loved him in the beginning, but like, I loved him more for like how, in the beginning, I was like, oh, it's so cute how much he likes Tanya. And like, he's like very clearly has no shame in like sharing his emotions. And now I'm like, no, he's just a really good guy.
Yeah. He's also clearly has like some emotional maturity to be like the one, he's like, keep telling everyone like you're idiots or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, how does Shaq and Tanya not win? Like, I just don't understand. Like, are we just going to watch them be a happy couple for 3 more weeks, whatever it is? Like, how do they not win?
Well, we'll see what happens. But like Casa Amor really shakes things up usually. And then sometimes a couple will win, like if they go through like a super rocky time and then are able
Ron
to
and
like,
Lana?
Even worse than that. Like, let's say Ron and Lana, I think Ron and Lana will probably be this couple. Let's say Ron and Lana like make it through this, right? And then Casa Amor comes and Ron couples up with a different girl and Lana stays true to him. And then the recoupling happens and Lana's like, are you fucking kidding me? And then they're all in the house together, Ron and his new bird and Lana. And Ron's like, fuck, I fucked up. And like tries to get back together with Lana. They get back together. Yeah, they get back together and then they're like stronger than ever. It's like some people, like I feel like the voters like really like a story. You know what I mean? So if Shaq and Tanya are just together and there's just no bumps, it's almost too boring. The only thing I'll say is that Shaq seems insanely well liked.
I mean, there's nothing to not like about him.
Yeah. And remember when they did the voting, Tanya was in the bottom 3. Shaq wasn't.
Yeah.
So if the voters also are like, Shaq, we want you with someone else, that's the other thing that could happen.
Oh, interesting. But like, why would you want Shaq with someone else when Shaq is so happy? Like, if you love Shaq, like root for what makes Shaq happy, barring abusive relationship. And I don't think it seems abusive.
No. They both seem into it right now. And that might change because like that happened like, what day were we? Like day 10? So maybe by day 15. Week. Yeah. So like maybe by now or like in a week, voters are like, oh, they clearly are so into each other and it would be fine. And they would vote for Tanya just because they like Zach so much. Because Shaq so much because that happens. But I think right now, Shaq has to be like the favorite in the villa.
And there's nothing that comes close. I mean, it's just interesting to see every bombshell who come in go straight to Tom. I mean, I get it. He's really hot. It seems like his head could turn because it does turn every time.
Every single time. Poor Zara.
But I know, poor Zara. It made me like her more.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So everyone was kind of like, oh, she's overreacting. I would be fucking pissed. Like,
Me too,
I don't understand why everyone's like, everyone in the villa, I'm like, are we missing something? Because it doesn't seem like people like her. It doesn't seem like the girls like her, but I don't think that they like her because when she first came in, every guy was like, oh my God. So like, and she clearly wasn't trying to like make the girls feel better about that. She was very much so like, I'm going to go after whatever I want. I don't really care. Like that kind of rubbed the women the wrong way. And it doesn't seem like they really got over that. But in what world would you want to be body? Like if he had to give 3 different women one of those, like you have to be face or personality. And I think you have to be face.
But body is like Handmaid's Tale, where it's like, okay, so I'm just like a baby carrier to you, or like I'm just for sex. Like it's so fucked up. I think personality is like kind of the biggest compliment, but I would want to be face because I mean, Zara said it. Like she was like, my face is like where my voice comes from. It's like who I am. But I think personality is actually the biggest compliment. But I agree. I'd want to be face in that situation if I'm Zara. The
only other that like I agree with you. The thing that would make it for me to be face, because you can give a friend personality. Like him giving Lana personality to me was like not threatening at all. You know what I mean? So like, if you have to give 3 different women something, like he should have given Zara face and then someone body and then Lana personality, whatever. And even the body one, like pick anyone but Liv.
I know. He's a dick and he's an idiot. I mean, he's 23. I think he looks older.
He does look older. But then everyone was just like, are you kidding me? Like if she's pissed about this, we're done. And I'm like, bro, what? Anyone would be pissed about this.
Of course. And that's also like, that's like why they did it. It's ridiculous.
Also, I'm like, so Zara can't be pissed about that, but it's okay for Jesse to be pissed that Will was clearly just joking around. And the way that Will handled that, he was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm definitely a showman. And he's like, I don't want to ever like make you feel that way. Even though I know in his mind, he was like, clearly I was joking. This isn't a big deal. But like, I hear you.
He was just like swallowing
don't want
it
you to
because
feel
he cares
that
about the relationship.
Yeah. I'm like, that's how you're supposed to fucking act.
I love Will. I know that Chuck is the favorite, but I love Will. I'm really happy he found Jesse because like I'm surprised. Like
I thought he was going to be single the whole time.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be single the entire time, but stay in the villa because everybody likes him.
Yeah. And like it's a safe friend pick to share a bed with.
Yes. And this past episode, first of all, Will is like prime candidate for like showing, like he's friends with all the women. They all love him. Yeah. He talks to all of them. Even his conversation with Ellie last night, I thought was so cute. And he was like, okay, so just go up to Tom and be like, hey, like he's so funny. And I loved in his interview when he was like, last week, I went from not having any options to this week. Now people think I'm a player. And he's like, I'm not actually a player, but, player. I was just like, I love him so much.
Me too. Can you please give me credit for loving him from the jump? You thought I was crazy, but I was like, I love that guy.
Yeah. Episode 1, you were in, and I was just like, this guy's a weirdo. He's going to be gone so early. By the way, part of me thinking he was such a weirdo is the Instagram video of him that you sent to me. And I was just like, ugh, no way. And now I am
so weird.
Fully on board.
I feel like this is really good for the farming industry. He's making farmers seem really funny and cool.
I will say though that like I hate that they put the Australian Love Island people on there. At least Jesse seems to have made a connection with someone that I like, and it does seem genuine and I like them. But like Alex, is that his name?
Aaron. I can never remember his name either. I'm like, Evan?
Yeah, why?
Aaron?
Why? What is he on the show for? Go home.
He's a zero. He's literally a zero.
Zero. You give me like even Tom and Kai, who I wouldn't say have like the biggest personalities in the row. Yeah. You're giving me nothing. Nothing. No one is giving less than him. By the way, on Love Island Australia, he like was nonstop talking. So it's very interesting.
Interesting. Maybe he just can't keep up.
No. He was an asshole on Australia. So I wonder if he's like trying to like not
get humbled.
Yeah.
Interesting. Jesse's body is sick. I guess I didn't realize she's a personal trainer, so that explains it. But like she's so muscular. It's crazy.
Yeah. She looks like
I like watching them work out.
She has like dancer body. Like all of her like her legs, everything are muscular.
Yeah. I don't like Ellie. She's my least favorite person in the villa altogether.
What? I don't love her. But Liv is clearly my least favorite person in the villa.
That's a good point. I think I like Liv more like based on legacy and based on the fact that she has a lot of friends. Ellie, I find to be like too much of like a striver. But Liv does suck. Liv reminds me a lot of JWoww. I can't not see it, but like it's like British, like Facetune JWoww.
That's interesting. I knew she looked like someone. I was like, I was thinking more Kyle Richards, but maybe JWoww.
I see that too. But like imagine just taking like an airbrush and like Facetune to JWoww's face. And
it's Liv.
Yeah.
Also, Liv for some reason like talks like an octave below her voice.
I hate how she talks.
I'm like, why is she talking like that? Like her normal voice is not that. And then she like lowers it.
I know. I hate it. And she talks like slowly. I'm like, is this your sexy voice? I hate it.
I really don't like it. Also, somehow Zara is painted as a bitch, But I'm like, Liv is the real bitch. And Liv is doing all these things to Zara and pretending like she's not doing them. And then when Zara reacts, she's like, oh my God, she's crazy. And I'm like, no, you are making her do these things and you're acting like you're not doing it.
Yeah, I know. I like Zara too. And I feel bad for her. Tom is such like just a hot guy. I mean, I get it. Like, yeah, it's all the girls gravitate towards him. And then if you're watching at home, you're like, yeah, clearly he's not locked in. So I'm going to go for him and his head will turn and whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I understand. It's a good strat, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't know why Ellie had to take so many digs at Ron and Lana's relationship in a way that like insults Lana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lana seems nice. I understand why she gets walked all over.
Yeah.
I like her a lot, but I understand why she gets walked all over.
You know what I like least about Lana is that she likes Ron. Like, go for Spencer.
I know. Spencer's hot. Ron's a loser. Ron's going to cheat on you.
Spencer's hot and seems like a good guy. Like, what is Ron?
The only reason I don't like Spencer is because the narrator, Ian Sterling, is so obsessed with his vibrator business. I'm like, I get it. Every time you mention Spencer, you don't have to bring it up. Yeah. It's just like annoying. I agree. Ron sucks. Ron is like a high school cool guy and who just like can't keep his head straight.
Last week, I liked Ron. He was one of my favorites. This week, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He's
such an idiot.
But he's the youngest, right?
No.
Oh, no. Harris was the youngest.
Harris was 21. I think Ron's like 25, normal.
Oh, God. Well, he seems like he's 21.
I know. I feel like maybe, I wonder if he was always cute. I think he's quite cute. And I like how he dresses. But I wonder if he like was a late bloomer, partially because of like his eye thing. And like he just enjoys all the attention as an adult.
I'm weirdly, I'm into his eye thing.
I am too. Yeah, very into. I wonder if he can drive because you have no depth perception with only one eye. So
wait, does he only have one eye?
He said he's blind in one eye.
Oh, but they're both his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that
he had
like
a glass eye.
Yeah, I thought you were saying it was a glass eye. I was like, it looks like his eye.
I don't think so.
Yeah, they're just different colors.
Callie, I love Love Island. It's also like both good and bad for my insomnia. I'm so happy it's there when I wake up, but then I'm also like, oh shit, I should probably save this for later. But I can't. As soon as I can watch, I want to watch.
But also I'm like, are you waking up for it?
No, I'm not. I'm not. But I did have like 12 minutes to watch a little bit of Love Island this morning, so I did. And I was like, great.
Do you watch After the Sun and Unseen Bits?
No. Should I?
Seth really likes After the Sun. We don't ever really watch Unseen Bits, but sometimes you'll see things in like you learn more about the people in Unseen Bits. You know what I mean? You're seeing all this
maybe I'll go
stuff
back
that's not in that you see all the stuff that doesn't make the edit.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay. Well, I can't wait for more. Also, a lot more reality TV happening. Callie and I are going to hop on over to the Ringer Reality TV podcast to talk about Love is Blind, After the Altar, and Perfect Match. So catch us there. Thank you so much to our producer, Ashleigh Smith. We'll be back on Bachelor Party next Monday night.